Okay, moving on to page 102. Question 9. Piece of wood with dimension 30, 20, and 5 weighs 4.2 kilogram. So we have a piece of wood that is 30, 20, and 5. So the volume is just 30 times 20 times 5. You got 3,000. This will be in centimeter cube. So this ratio, the ratio of the weight over volume, or I can use volume to weight, because we were told this piece of wood weighs 4.2 kilogram. So the ratio is going to be 3,000 centimeter cube to 4.2 kilogram. You can also express this ratio as just 3,000 over 4.2, right? Just make sure you know that the numerator is in centimeter cube and the denominator is in kilogram. So that would be step 1. Step 2, we have a second piece of wood. And this piece of wood measured 15 by 15 by 12. So the volume will be 15 times 15 times 12. And we get 2700. So now we can set out a proportion. We can say that the volume 3000 over the weight 4.2 should equal to this new piece of wood. The volume is 2700 over the weight. We'll let the weight be x. So we can let x equals to the weight of the second piece of wood. So now we can cross multiply 3000 times x equals to 2700 times 4.2. So 3000 x equals 11,340. And now we can just divide both up by 3000. We get x equals 3.78. So now we can say that the second piece of wood weighs 3.78 kilograms. Okay, moving on to question 10. The basement of a 30 meters by 18 meters house has cement poured to a thickness of 5 centimeters. And cement costs 108 per cubic meters. Okay, so I want everything in meters because the cement, the cost is being coded in cubic meters. So this is the basement, it's 30 meters by 18 meters. You need 5 centimeters of thickness, which is the same as 0.05 meters. Right, you should know that from earlier math in elementary school, that the 1 meters equals to 100 centimeters. So 5 centimeters equals to 0.05 meters. You would just divide that by 100. Divide 5 by 100 to get 0.05 meters. So the volume is 30 times 18 times 0.05. We get 27 meters cubed. So now to calculate the cost, we need 27 cubic meters, and each cubic meter will cost us $108. So we just multiply them. And we get $2,916. $11. The length of a rectangular solid is 4 times the width, and the height is 3 times the width. Okay, so we should start by sketching this rectangular solid. The length is 4 times the width. So if the width is x, then the length will be 4x. And the height is 3 times the width. So again, length, width, the height is 3 times the width. So I'm not very good at drawing, but this is supposed to be a rectangular prism. And the volume is 768, what a dimension. So the volume is just 4x times 3x, right? You just multiply the length times width times height to find the volume. So 4 times 3 is 12, x times x is x to the power 3. We were told that this volume 12x to the power 3 equals to 768. So now we can divide both sides by 12. We get x to the power 3 equals 64. To find x, we just take the cubic root on both sides. Because the cubic root and raised into the power 3, they cross each other out. We should get x equals to 4. So remember, your length is 4x, which is 4 times 4. We just determined x is 4. The width is just x, so it will just be 4. And then finally, the height is 3x, so it will be 3 times 4, which is 12. Therefore, the dimension is 4 centimeter by, so we can use times by 12 centimeter by 16 centimeter. That would be the answer. Okay, question 12. A rock is sunk in a rectangular fish tank. So we have a rectangular fish tank. That is 50 by 30. If the water level rises 3 cm after we put the rock in, so maybe initially it was already filled with some water, and then we drop the rock in. So let's assume that's the rock. Drop it in, and the water level rises by 3 centimeter. So we're really just calculating the volume. If the water level rises by 3 centimeter, then the volume of this rock will just be 50 times 30 times 3. That's the amount of space that it occupies in this fish tank. 50 times 30 times 3, we get 4,500 centimeter cube. Number 13. The base of an isosceles right triangle prism has legs equals to this height. So isosceles means 2 of the legs are equal in the triangle. So these 2 are equal. And we were told that it also equals to the height of this right triangular prism. So I'll just call them OX. If the volume is 108, what is the height of the prism? So we can say that the base area is just x times x divided by 2. Base times height divided by 2, so that's half x. The volume will be this base area times the height. The height is also x here. So the volume is 1 over 2x to the power 3. We were told that this volume is 108. So 1/2 x to the power 3 equals to 108. Now you can cross multiply the denominator 2 over because you only have one single term on each side. That's why you're allowed to cross multiply the denominators over. 108 times 2 is 216. And now we can just cube it with both sides to get x equals to 6. And that's the height, because the height is x. Question 14. Rectangular solid is divided into 6 pieces. Find the volume of each piece. Okay. So this question, I think, is more for the math contest type of problems. So if you don't get it, it's okay. I'm just going to show you how to do it. Well, that's pretty. That doesn't look right. Okay, I know my diagram is not the same as the textbook one, but that's the best I can do. So just assume that they are the same. Okay. So first of all, we need to know that this piece and this piece are exactly the same. So we only need to do that calculation once. So let me see. So we were told that this is 12, this is 9, and that's 50. We were also told that these are exactly the same. So these three are exactly the same, which means each one is going to be 3. So that's 3. Same idea here. These are also exactly the same. So these are exactly the same. So each one must be 4. Okay, so for the pink piece, the smallest piece, the base is going to be 3 times 4 divided by 2, just base times height divided by 2, and then we can times the height. The height is 50. So that will give us the volume of the smallest piece. That's 300 centimeter cube. The next piece are going to be this one and that one. They are exactly the same. In order to calculate this piece, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to calculate the entire piece here and then subtract the pink piece. Okay, so the volume of the second or the middle piece is going to be, this is 3, this is also 3, that's 4, that's also 4. So the triangular base is going to be a 6 times 8 divided by 2, right? Just a triangle, base times height divided by 2, and then times the height of the prism minus the pink piece. The pink piece we just calculated to be 300, and that would give us the volume. 6 times 8 divided by 2 times 50 minus 300, so that's 900 centimeter cube. And then the last piece, the biggest piece, is going to be the same. Right, it would be this piece right here, and that piece, they are exactly the same. So to calculate them, I need to calculate the entire volume here and then subtract the pink piece and subtract the orange piece. So that's also a 3, that's also a 4. So I just have 9 times 12 divided by 2 for the entire base area, which is a triangle. And then times the height, minus 900, minus 300. And that will give me the green piece. So 9 times 12 divided by 2 times 50 minus 900 minus 300, and we get 1500. And those are the answers. So 300 centimeter cube, 900 centimeter cube, 1500 centimeter cube. Rectangular prism has dimension, length, width, height, whatever does condition, each condition have on its volume. So we can let the original prism be a 1 by 1 by 1, so just a cube. So the volume is 1 here. In A, if you double each dimension, you get a 2, 2, 2. So the volume here is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So you can use the new volume divided by the old volume. You get 8 divided by 1. So this is 8 times bigger, right? The volume is 8 times larger when you double each of the 3 sides or each of the 3 dimensions. If you triple each one, the volume becomes 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So we can say that the volume is 8 times larger. 27 times larger. C, you want to triple the length and double the width. And, probably leaving height unchanged in this case. Triple the length, double the width, and leaving the height unchanged. Volume is 3 times 3 times 1, which is 6. Because initial volume is still 1, right? So we can say the volume is 6 times greater. D, if we have the width and length, then this becomes 0.5, 0.5, and 1. So the volume is 0.5 times 0.5 times 1. So this is 0.25. So this is 0.25 times as much, or you can say that is 4 times smaller. E, if you have the height, triple the length and width. So triple the height and width, and then half the height. volume is 3 times 3 times 0.5. We got 4.5. So you can say it's 4.5 times greater. F, if you just increase each dimension by a factor of n, so they all become n, the volume will just be n to the power 3. So you can say that it is n to the power 3 times as much, right? Because again, our original volume is just 1. Okay, that's the end of 3.3. I'll see you in 3.4.